So, if you would like to sum up, like, you know, from where you were when we first began to now with regards to how your relationships are like with your family, with your friends, with men and your body, you know, just starting with your family first of all.
Again, it's the honest conversations and connecting to how I feel about a situation. This is what it stems from, and really affects my relationship with my family, and also kind of across the board really. So I've been able to ask myself, like, what do I want from my relationships with my family, and like what really matters to me, and and then to be able to express that to them. And it makes a huge difference to be able to express like gratitude, and say like, you've done lots of wonderful things for me, and I'm really grateful for that, and thank you, and I want us to have a great relationship, and I love you.
That's a big deal for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't easy for me to be able to say that, and well, to connect to that feeling first. Made me feel uncomfortable, more so to actually express it, you know, to the person. So so really hard, but wow, it feels so good to be able to do that. And
it's so different, because I know you've had times of kind of cutting people from your life because you couldn't handle it, and just not communicating, and to turn that around is significant.
I mean, and it something that really helped to motivate me to take these steps forward to improve things was knowing that life is very unpredictable, and you never know what's going to happen. And you know, now in this moment is the time to make it clear to the ones who matter, you know, that you love them, and that they mean a lot to you, and that you're grateful for things that they've done for you in your life, and that kind of thing. Like, now is the time. When else, you know, what are you waiting for? And don't wait, because you never know like what's gonna come up, and what might happen, and so why not tell them now? So yeah, that's what I realised is important.
And with your social life, because I know again at those times, certainly during your late teens, you completely withdrew, weren't social at all, perhaps were drinking, smoking, just disengaged from the world. And now what's that like for you through our process together?
Well, a lot of that was to do with me feeling that I wasn't acceptable, like with my body, and just feeling in general that I needed to be hidden away. And so now I feel, because I'm so much more happy with like me in my own skin, and feeling like I'm having more of a sense of who I am, and my like feeling that I have some substance and something to contribute, and I like myself so much more. That's the key. Whereas before I really didn't. I was at war with myself, and now there's like more harmony, there's more like feeling peaceful inside, you know, like so much more than before, and like just naturally able to connect with people more, because of how I feel internally. Things are so much more settled and relaxed than on the outside, and just in my life in general. It attracts people to me, and it makes me feel that I can empathise and connect with other people as well. So then these friendships happen, and it really is, it's like it just enhances my life so much to be able to like have these wonderful friendships that I was missing out on in the past.
Fabulous. And then so on to men. Obviously when you started with me, your ex-boyfriend, he ended it with you. You were clearly very, very upset at that time, going through moving getting over your ex, and so now you've been dating again. That was something that was just inconceivable to you, and what's it like now? Kind of.
That was hard to get into that. It was hard to kind of think, okay, I'm going to kind of market myself. I'm going to put myself out there and hope that there's some kind of positive response, and thinking that there wouldn't be.
Exactly. She believed there wasn't going to be a positive response.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to attract anyone. That was where she was at.
I thought they're going to, I mean, it'll be a joke, to them.
You really believed that too, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much. So now I feel like I have every right to want a good relationship and to connect with people and to meet men and to, just to engage with that side of me that was really shut down, and just to really explore and like play, just become like, have this playful spirit of playfulness, and fun and lightheartedness, and it's so different to before feeling like burdened and heavy and afraid and like really very fearful. And now it's I'm happy to go on dates. I accept offers for dates, and I go along and I see how it goes, and if it goes well it does, and if it doesn't it doesn't. It's all just okay, and I go and I can dress up and feel confident and comfortable regardless of like where I'm going or who I'm seeing. I don't know, how it'll be. You can't predict it. But I know that for me, I'm okay with dressing up and looking good and feeling good, and if the response is good, then great, and if not, I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I know what that's such a really big step for you, big step forward, and having fun and playing. I love the way she said it about being playful, because that's been a lot of our work together, is about playing again instead of being so serious, because life isn't necessary, it doesn't have to be serious. And so it's really nice when I can see like the changes again in that area, and having fun, just having fun and smiling.
And
so you thought that they had everything?
Especially kind of like smaller boobs, like small perky boobs,
right?
And like a narrow waist, kind of thick flowing hair, and kind of very like willowy, wafy limbs.
Okay.
In general, like the arms, there's nothing really going on. There's no shape. That's more kind of beanpole. This is kind of what I'm thinking, like they must be very happy with how they look, and that's,
and they have everything.
And that's but I also know that like a very like hourglass shape, which seems to contradict what I've just said actually, but these are the body types, I suppose, like plural, that I would say are the ideal. Is they're kind of very waif-like and skinny, and then the hourglass, still slim though, but with the shoulder to hip proportion, with the waist in between that goes in a little bit, and this is what for me is like the perfect body.
So what did you think they would have that you couldn't have?
Like the attention from nice, attractive guys who, like they would be the kind of women who would have the ideal relationship, with the ideal guy, the charming, sweet, good-looking guy who all women aspire to be in a relationship with, in my mind, as far as I was understanding, what that ideal was. So they'd have it all: the great job, the great house, the intellect, the intelligence.
They'd be happy,
successful, and very pleased with themselves.
Okay. And so how do you see women like that now? And when you see women who are in your mind the ideal, the perfect shape, what goes on through your mind now, given all the changes that you've experienced?
Well, one of the most important things, the wet fish in the face, which made me think, was the fact that regardless of how you look as a woman, and I don't know about men, but there'll always be something that you're not completely happy with. And the way you look doesn't determine your happiness. It doesn't. And I think that what I've discovered is, yes, you know, women can look a certain way and be happy and have good relationships, but it's possible that they don't always feel 100% happy with their bodies the way that I would imagine they do. So that's it. It's getting that reality check, and something that we did was, for me to compliment women who I saw kind of randomly,
which you would never,
which I never would do. No, I wouldn't. And to see them, compliment them on something that I, you know, and say to them, you know, you look great, and I assume that you're very happy with your body, and I think I'd be really happy if I looked the way you look. And I mean, one of them was, she was, wow, you know, thank you, you know, I've come a long way, and I wasn't always confident about how I look, but I feel quite confident now, and I'm glad that that comes across, and thank you. And another one, she was like completely shocked. She was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So that was interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So it was that, you know, things like that, part of the processes that we did, and things that I did going out in the world and actually challenging my beliefs. That's what really brought me back down to earth. And the reality is that like, the happiness isn't defined by like your physical appearance. It can't be. And if it is, then that's just a bit one-dimensional. So.